Hi, I'm Janet with Chez Les Fleur podcast. This is the podcast where we talk to all sorts of exciting and interesting women doing amazing things in the business community. If you're joining us for the first time, we're really glad that you're here. And if you're a returning visitor, we are so glad that you've come back to hear every exciting episode that we have. I have a very special guest today. I have Victoria Ye, and she is a musician. Her business is music and creating music and giving us music. And I know a lot of times we don't think about the business of music and the arts. So I'm really thrilled that she's here to speak with us. And welcome, Victoria.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to. I'm glad to. So you're a professional musician. You play the
I am.
violin. And share with us what inspired you to choose music as your career.
Well, I started playing the violin when I was 4 years old, so I've pretty much known it my entire life. And I think that arguably I knew the moment that I saw someone playing the violin on TV that that was something I wanted to do. I don't think at 4 you can really conceive of your future in a career, but as close as I could have at that time, maybe it was true. And I certainly as I got towards high school and was deciding what I was going to do with my future, a professional career in music was my long-term goal.
So at 4 years old, how do your parents know to start you on
Yeah.
the like,
Well, a lot of children, their parents just start them, but I actually asked for it. So I saw someone playing the violin on TV one day, and I just knew that I wanted to do that. And I didn't know what it was called. So I had to wait until my mother was reading the newspaper at some future point in time, and I saw a picture of a girl playing the violin, and I pointed to the picture and I was like, I want to play that. And my parents got me a violin that Christmas.
wow, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Um, so people don't always think about the arts and music as a business. So tell us more about what the challenges are. You don't have a bricks and mortar store, you don't sell a product as such, like a sweater or a pair of shoes. Tell us about some of the challenges that you face.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of artists really struggle with the business side of music. And I can certainly understand why you're there to do what you're passionate about and what your competence is, which is your art. Um, So what I actually ended up doing was I actually went to university for a business degree, in the hopes that I would uh, accomplish a few things on my journey to becoming a musician. First would be to acquire some knowledge and technical skills when it came to managing a business and understanding how that worked. And the second was to establish a financial base for myself so that I could become an artist on my own terms and do so in a financially independent and in a financially independent way that wouldn't pressure me to ever resent doing arts or resent choosing arts as a profession. So I actually ended up working for 12 years in the corporate environment while I was still sort of working up my music networks and my playing abilities, etc. While I was accomplishing those other goals that I stated earlier. And then at some point, I wasn't able to do both of them at the same time, and I quit my day job and went into arts full time.
Beautiful. And you haven't looked back, have you?
You know what? The day after I left my job, I gave away all my dress pants.
Oh, good. Yeah, you weren't going back.
No.
Many times I think people look at artists and musical artists and sculpt, all the art forms, and they think it looks like it's easy. How much time would you spend practicing?
Um, yeah, it's not easy, and it's almost like any trade that people are reticent to pay like a plumber $400. But it did take a lot to get to that point and to acquire that knowledge and those skills. And so you're not really paying just, when someone pays me to play at their wedding or at their function or whatever it might be, they're not just paying me for the hour that I'm there to play. It's everything that went into it. So, I did start when I was 4. By the time I was early teenager, I was practicing 2 to 3 hours a day. Um, Now, having a life and a kid and a house under construction and everything, I'll try to get at least 1 hour, if not two, in a day of actual practice. And then there's also, running my actual business. So I do have to put in at least a couple hours a day of administrative time, conversing with clients or updating my website, doing different marketing things, that sort of, business, running a business.
Right. Yeah.
And then teaching and actually getting ready for shows.
What advice would you give young women who want to go into a career of music?
The industry has changed so much in the past few years. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. I guess like I've gone through a really long and winding journey to the point that I am at today. And I think the biggest lesson that I learned was to be authentic to yourself and take that time to find and cultivate your authentic and unique voice, because that is what's going to set you apart. That's what you need to spend your time on in order to keep that fire alive inside and to keep doing what you need to do and to put in the time that you need to do to master it and to get ahead in the industry. Um, I spent a lot of time, a number of years, trying to be everything to everyone. And so I was fairly indiscriminate with what kind of gigs I would accept. And I played like everything. Anything anyone wanted, I would play, which is ironically, I mean, not ironically, but, in many ways to my advantage today. But I also mistakenly accepted some gigs that I should have said no to. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way. I don't think I would have changed anything I did, because those are lessons that I needed to learn. But yeah, the most important lesson I learned is to really hone my authentic voice, because even if that's not a person's cup of tea, even though my music, my genre of music might not be something that someone would choose to listen to, uh, if I do it well and it's authentic, it comes through and they can still appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think for all entrepreneurs that really want to show what they do best, it's hard to step back and look at one particular thing and say, you know what? This isn't us. And we're not going to do a good job on this, or we know somebody who could do it better, and say no, even though there might be a twinge of excitement there, or, yeah, that's
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do it before you know that you shouldn't do it.
right, right. Yeah, well said, well said. I've only seen you perform as a soloist. Is there, do you have a favorite type of performing, like as a soloist or with a small group or with an orchestra? What's your favorite?
Honestly, I've play with so many different groups and so many different genres of music. I don't know if I could pinpoint a favorite. What's really important to me is playing with good people that are, like good people, fundamentally. Great to hang out with genuine, uh, devoted artists, and also good music that I just really, really enjoy playing. So I play with a few different groups currently. I'm on tour on an annual basis with the Shipyard Kitchen Party out of Collingwood. That's a folk group that plays a couple musicals currently. Tom Thompson's Wake and 100 Years From Now are the current productions, and there's a couple more in the works that are being developed. I also record with Art Griffin's Sound Chaser. He's out of Collingwood as well, and that's progressive rock, which is just like really, really cool, interesting, very, very unique music. And I play with Paul DeLong's One Word. Paul is one of the foremost Canadian drummers, tours around the world, and is just this powerhouse musician. I get to play with four other really fabulous people on that. That's like a 70s fusion jazz group. And then on the very flip side, I play with a number of orchestras. So currently I'm serving as concertmaster for the Northumberland Orchestra out of Coburg. And I'm also going to be a soloist this year with Summerhill Orchestra in Toronto, the Georgian Bay Symphony in Owen Sound, and the Parkdale Orchestra out of Ottawa.
Beautiful. Oh, you are busy and it sounds so exciting. Oh, I'm so pleased for you.
I'm always very grateful for all these opportunities that come my way. And I work for it. I'm prepared, as they say, luck is only or opportunity is only luck coincided with preparedness. Something like that. I don't know if I
Yeah,
got
no,
that
I think you've
twisted
got it.
around.
Yeah.
And so I'm just always really trying to be prepared and ready for these calls when they come in because they tend to be really fabulous opportunities.
Yeah, it sounds exciting. It just, the variety and the little bit of the bit of travel that seeing other cities and seeing them from a different perspective than if you just went there as a tourist or and like you
Yeah,
say,
absolutely.
meeting fabulous people. That's
Hmm.
gotta be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I get to see a lot of Ontario, which has been really cool in these past couple years, especially with Shipyard Kitchen Party. And it's been really wonderful just seeing all these various towns and beautiful sights and water from every which direction. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And you know, you're so talented and you just bring so much energy to your performance and you just radiate your love of performing and playing and entertaining that I'm not surprised that you're in all those places. It does not surprise me at all.
Oh, thank you so much. And just on that subject, I am going to be offering a continuing education course on building your stage presence. If there's other musicians that might be interested in learning about that, and that will be through continuing ed at Trail College through Trent University this summer.
Beautiful. Oh, when does that start?
It'll be a 1 day workshop, so it will
Okay.
be the first week of June and to be posted very shortly in the next couple weeks.
So watch the Trent continuing education piece on the website.
Yeah, that's right.
Beautiful. Oh, I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. I know how much you've got on the go and it's not always easy to fit everything in, so I appreciate that you took time to fit us in and thank you so much.
Thank
Um,
you, and I really appreciate that you're doing this series with women entrepreneurs. It's really fabulous to see other amazing women being featured.
yeah, there's a lot of us. I like to close out our podcast with a few rapid fire questions. So if you're good to go, I've got a few questions for you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cake or pie?
I'm gonna say cake.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy for sure.
Orchestra or quartet?
Ooh, that one's tough. I'm gonna say quartet.
Pen or pencil?
Pen. Unless it's music, that's always in pencil.
Yes, true, true. I'm gonna Miss Bakova or McMaster?
Now, I don't actually know this other violinist. I only know Natalie McMaster. So, only out of sheer ignorance, I'm going to have to say McMaster.
Well, and she's in the hood, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
You know. Victoria, thank you so much for being with us today. It was really great to talk to you, and I love talking to artists about the business side of business. And I think a lot of us overlook that and we don't think of it in those terms. And I think it's really important that we do because, your talent is your product and it needs to be valued. And I think what you're doing is fabulous, and I love listening to you to play. And thank you for taking time out to see us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, always good to see you. Oh, I need to close out. Thank you. If you're
Okay.
joining us for the first time, thank you for watching. And if you're a returning guest, we're really glad that you're here. And thank you again to Victoria for being with us today. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.